Win. How are you doing today? In this Luby Say Richard Lakes Media, as you can see. And today we are here to talk about the ESCHBORN. Uh, sorry, people sending. I need to turn off the notifications on the Instagram because message are getting a lot now because I guess because I'm posting so consistently and then getting it's good. It's good traction. It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. But anyway, let's get into this today. So we're going to look at it's three races we're going to look at. We're going to look at two races that happened. So you got the ESCHBORN Frankfurt, and then you got the Tour of Romandie, stage 2 of Tour of Romandie, which was quite exciting. And then yesterday we had World Pools win the Tour of Turkey stage, but that was stage 4. But today's stage 5 was canceled. So let's just get started with that. So according to the reports that are in, just like after 60 kilometers, it's at 71.2 kilometers into the race, due to rain and wet road conditions, it was initially decided to neutralize the race up to kilometer 71.2. During the neutralization, as the rain intensified, the decision was made to cancel the whole stage. That's a lot. So it's just been sort of a theme of this season, and like people's going to be like, oh, global warming and all of that stuff. But man, it just seems like, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't sort of knock it and say that these guys are being wimps is what I want to say. It's no fun being cold and riding out there in the cold. But at the same time, I just have an opinion. I think that because they want to make the clothing so arrow and everything so fast, that I think that the riders uh, warmth and comfort is being compromised for the fact that they're trying to make everything so fast and aerodynamic and save watts and whatnot. So, which I think it hurts the sport. It helps the sport and it hurts the sport, because then you got all these regular people going out and buying this equipment. And trust me, some of these jackets that the teams have, that the winter jackets or the rain jackets that they are charging 200-300 pounds. Like, you go look at Rafa and look at and the team kits, man, they charging. So if you want the replica team kits, you got to pay some money. They are charging a lot of money, and you are not getting the same comfort if you're on, because the gear works for these guys when they're racing because they're riding at a certain level of intensity. But then when you wear this stuff on your regular ride, unless you're riding at that same intensity, that equipment that most of these guys wear is not going to have the same effect. So in order for you to actually be warm, you actually have to buy the proper winter gear. And then a lot of people buy what they see them racing in and not go and look up what the winter gear is and what the winter gear is. So they get out. I see guys come out in, they're really fast, like, nice fitting stuff, close fitting, really arrow, but it doesn't stay warm. And then they see me, I'm got my big old gloves on, or I may even have the little bar mitts on and little thick and stuff, and they're riding around, and you can see they're cold. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable as all day. I'll get out. I'm fine. I'm comfortable. But that's the other thing. So this is all of this is saying, like, going back to, like, they stopped the race because of inclement weather. Now, I just personally think if they didn't focus so much on making this stuff try to be so light and so all of this and all of that, I think the riders will be able to finish the races. And they'll be able to finish the race in any type of weather, in any type of conditions. But this is the price you pay for trying to be so technologically, up on everything. But that it is what it is. So stage 5 of the Tour of Turkey was canceled today because of inclement weather. So that is a bit unfortunate. That race is looking good, is looking interesting. While Pools is the one that I believe he's wearing the leader's jersey today. But this only helps him go a day further in the leader's jersey. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the weather makes up and is better tomorrow. But the thing is that I think if they would have been at sea level, they probably would have been all right. But when they did stop at mile 70, they were actually at elevation. They were on top of a mountain. So they were probably, and the ridge looks really long as well. Let me see, how long was the ridge that they were on? It's not a ridge, but you know, they're riding along the top of so they've, so they obviously climb. So obviously when you're climbing, you're going to be okay. And they started climbing at what about, let me see, 16, uh, it's hard to say where they started climbing out, 4 or 5. It's not marked out very well. So it looks like they started climbing at about kilometer 20, and then the top of the climb is at kilometer 40. So it's so 8, 9. So top of the climb is at kilometer 35. Sorry, kilometer 35, and they climb for like 9 kilometers minus 9:30, so like 28. So yeah. So from kilometer 38 all the way to kilometer 97, you're pretty much at elevation. The high point is at probably kilometer 45, but they stay at elevation for quite some time. So, and I see they stopped the race at 72. So basically at elevation, so they crested it said the Mogala, and then you go down for quite some time before you go up again, but you're not quite down at sea level. So probably in that instance where they're at level, raining and everything's probably really cold. So the inclement weather, so they probably just canceled the event from them because the riders, you know, if you have to stay at a high elevation and you're not really descending back down to sea level, but you're descending, but you're staying up high. And yeah, it can get pretty cold. It can get pretty uncomfortable. But like I said, but if they actually focus on giving them proper winter gear, then it wouldn't be that much of an issue. So on to, so that was the winner of yesterday, XDS Astana and Tour of Turkey. But guess what? Today, this is Tour of Romandie. You had another winner from Astana, XDS Astana, who won today's stage, and his name is Lorenzo Fortunato. And this was a really interesting race because Remco Evenepoel was in this race. He's not far off for GC. The GC is really close, but they let a group of guys go away. Today really wasn't a climbing day, so they let a group of guys go away, and they got a march on the group. And everyone from that group basically moved up in GC. Remco Evenepoel still stays in 6th place at 56 seconds behind. So basically, because Remco was the first one in the group that finished behind, but we got a really good showing today by Lorenzo Fortunato. So they got away. They had a really decent gap at about a minute. And it's like about a minute, like it just creeped up to a minute 30. But the other thing is when they did get away, everyone was looking around to Remco to do the work, to chase back and do everything. But Remco's like, I got a man in a break. I don't need to chase. And you could see Remco actually gesturing that to the other guys. I don't need to chase. This is one time I don't need to chase. I got somebody in the group. So Remco didn't have to chase. He left it up to the other guys. And because they were dependent on Remco so much to do everything, the gap went from like it went out quickly as well too. It went up like 20, 50. Then the next thing you knew, it was a 1 minute gap, and it that's just how things go sometimes. So with about 2 kilometers to go, you got Lorenzo Fortunato makes a brilliant move, and he gets the stage 2 win of the Tour of Romandie. And this is 2 days, 2 wins for XDS Astana, who need the points in a bad way. And the reason why they need the points, because I don't know if you know, but they have the Pro Tour and the World Tour. So SDS Astana is part of the Pro Tour. The World Tour is like the top league of like all of the big teams, and then the number one, the teams that are top ranked with the most UCI points, and then the teams with the next amount of UCI points, they're in the Pro Tour. And the Astana is in the Pro Tour. And like lately they have been racking up the points, and they mean business. It's like, we are not getting relegated, we are not going down. They got the new sponsor XDS. Maybe that the injection is keeping our guys in. But I don't know what's going on with these guys' kits. But like if you look here, you see like what's going on there. Like he don't even have a base layer on. Like you've been seeing a lot of kits like lately. The zippers have been breaking up here. I don't know if that's a broken zipper, but that looks really, this is what you call a speed suit. And it's called a speed suit because it's connected right here. So basically, you put it on like a skin suit, but like a little different from a skin suit. It's got this little space here, and it zips up from top to bottom. So it's sort of like you pull it up and then wrap it on you. Whereas this a skin suit is like different. You're doing all this and shenanigans to get into the skin suit. But yeah, so that's a speed suit. So I don't know what's going on with these. Like everything is like it's trying to make everything so light and aero intact that you get in zipper malfunction, and then you had Isaac Del Toro getting fined for a zipper malfunction because he couldn't zip his jersey up, and it went all the way down, and they actually fined him for it. UCI is out of control. But anyway, so that was Lorenzo Fortunato. He wins the Astana, looking good, racking up the points and looking good like they would probably, as long as they keep going though, the fight will be on for them to stay up. The other thing is that the other team that they're, battling with is Confidence, and Confidence had quite a few wins early in the season, so they racked up some points. But the points that Astana are getting now are bigger. They're racking up bigger points. So we'll see how it plays out. And that is the Tour of Romandie. And then the last thing we're going to look at is the ESCHBORN Frankfurt race. This race started out, when it started out, it was considered a sprinters classic, so much so that Alexander Kristoff, he won the race 4 times. And it's just like you just had to hang in and just sprint everybody, and that's what he did. But now it's changed. Kristoff, I don't think Kristoff will win this today, even when he was at his best, because there's a lot of climbing, and the guys that can get over the get over the climbs do well. So Micheal Matthews, aka Bling, won today's stage. It looked like at one point he was actually in trouble and he wasn't going to be able to. He looked like he lost the wheel, because and you see the picture is Magnus Cort. So Magnus Cort, his on an axe team, was doing an excellent lead out. But I think Magnus Cort let himself down because this guy is just super fast. He should have started the sprint out early like he usually does, and he probably would have gotten the win. But he didn't start his sprint out early. He waited and he waited and waited. I don't think that's Magnus Cort's strength. Magnus Cort's strength is that he's fast and he could go fast for a long time. But he didn't do that. And he waited, and the crazy thing is, the guy that was leading out Magnus Cort, and I think that's the other thing that was leading out Magnus Cort, he was dying. So, and he was trying to hold on, and Magnus Cort should have just went. If Magnus Cort would have went instead of just waiting for his guy to pull off, he probably would have won the race. But he waited, and then in him waiting, Matthews was like, yo, it's time to go. We got to go. Matthews took off, and when Matthews took off, Magnus Cort's lead out man actually sort of dipped, like he went left, and he almost put Micheal Matthews in the barrier, but Micheal Matthews had just enough foresight to pick up the speed and go early enough so that he didn't get trapped, and he got underneath Magnus Cort's lead out man. So Magnus Cort saw him go left, and then Magnus Cort went right. But by then it was pretty much too late. Once Matthews got up to speed, once these guys got up to speed, and they all know one another, you got to time it right, and that's what Matthews did. He timed it right, and he got a really good win towards the end of the season, and they definitely needed that win. Well, more so Micheal Matthews, because he's been battling and he's been getting up in the points, second, third. I think Blake was fourth or fifth or something at Milan San Remo, and then like all these, he's just come close in quite a few races, and this is really good to see him finally get a win. But you gotta go on Instagram. You gotta go on Instagram and check out the prize that they give these guys. They give them a beer that's about, I don't know, it's about that tall, and it's really thick and wide as well too, and it's no way, it's got to be easily a gallon of beer. And Micheal Matthews gave it a go. He tried. He probably got down maybe a pint and a bit, but he did try. So hats off to Micheal Matthews for trying to give Pogacar and Puck Peterson a run for the money for the best beer drinking on the podium. So go check that out on the Instagram. That's getting a lot of views already. And so we'll be back tomorrow with stage 6 of the Tour of Turkey. Hopefully, although the weather's good and everything's going good, and then also the Tour of Romandie stage 3. And is there anything else? If there's something else going on, we will drop it about. I still gotta put up the video on the tariffs I will be doing that. I say it every day. Trust me, I'm going to be doing that. But I am studying for cybersecurity right now, and it's a lot going on. It's just busy. That's the reason why I'm so late, because it just got a lot going on. Anyway, I appreciate you for locking in, and I appreciate you if you hit the thank you, Nina. Didn't even see Nina ending that said hi. I apologize for not. Let me just wave back at you. Let me see. Can I do it on here? How do I wave back? How do I wave back? I think I probably have to do it when they're there. As a moderator, no, for this either. Timeout, report, remove. But anyway, so it's been a really good day. A lot of racing going on. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you. Appreciate you more than you know. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.